Alright, there's going to be an Awakening Hash PvP guide. I'll try and make it as quick as possible. Let's start with movement. I'll put everything up on screen. It's going to be in batches of 3, 3, and then 4. You can weave these in and out as you see fit. You can keep cycling these, but you will run out of stamina. Generally, you don't have to move that far of a distance all at once, but you can use those in and out, substitute each for each other. Let's move on to the PvP combo. Alright, so for the PvP combo, let's assume we're going to do a grab off this combo. Looks like this. Thing should be on screen. Alright, so that's the optimal PvP combo if you get a grab, a 1v1 combo. For AoE combos, we're going to be looking at things that have SA on them. So you're going to mainly be doing things like Serpent's Coil, Paradise Surge, your forward F. We've got Silent Breach. That's got SA, but then it's on cooldown, it loses the SA. You can still use it. Ensnaring Sands and Sin Splitter. For the cores, it really comes down to if you want to get catches with these three, or if you want to have SA on Dune Slash. If you have SA on Dune Slash, which is your Shift F, it allows you to stay protected in the combo more when you are comboing. It also allows you to have an extra SA just while you're in the fight. However, if you do have it on Serpent's Coil or Sin Splitter, Serpent's Coil will now become a knockdown, which I'll show you. That's your shift right click, knocks them down, and then you're also getting a little bit down attack damage on that. So that's good if you just want to kind of go in like a kamikaze in Node Wars or in small to large scale. You sort of just do your pre-buff, get in there, try to knock down as many people as you can, hold your shift right click, and then probably die while you're doing it. That would probably be the easiest one for beginners to pick up. Sin Splitter is a good option. It turns your forward right click into a bound. That also goes through the opponent. So when you do your forward right click, it'll start here, but you'll end over here, right? So even if they're in frontal guard, this will still bound them. Every hit of Sin Splitter applies the bound, not just the first hit. Those are your three core options. I'll change them based on what I'm doing. In 1v1s, Sin Splitter. In small scale, either Serpent's Coil or Dune Slash. I prefer Dune Slash, it's better for all round. If you do want to just kind of go in and get as many KDs as you can and hope for the best, Serpent's Coil is going to be the easiest way to do that. Alright, so let's talk about pre-buffs. The only pre-buff you really care about is your AP buff. You get that from holding R and B after attacks. So if we go back up into R and B, which is part of our combo, you'll see here you get the AP buff. These are just add-ons, we'll go over add-ons later. But that's your AP buff. If I press E now, it'll consume the AP buff into a block jump and get to your float. Now the easiest way to do that, if you're not doing a 1v1 combo that I've found, is while you're moving around doing this kind of thing, after your Sin Splitter, hold the R and B. You come out of SA, you use the R and B quickly there, and then you get out of it with the AP buff ready, and then you can block jump. On hits, the block jump will float. You can also try and force it into a CC if they're S8 or anything. So if you want to do the block jump into a space. The problem with that is, as you can see, it goes immune. So if the block jump does hit, you've just immune them. But that's a good way to kind of guarantee that it comes out if they are SA heavy class. Your tornadoes and stuff, so you're in Awakening, tornadoes deal fuck all damage. However, they are still SA, and people are still scared of them. People don't want to stand in them anyway. You've also got, so that's Owl's Dominion, sorry, Owl's Breath. You've got Absolute Descent, that's this one here. The SAs on them last quite a bit, you can shift cancel out of them. You do also have, I think it's Shift X, yeah. So that's your RABAM, which we'll go over. That's that one, Prophecy Blade. Alright, so for RABAMs you can use Prophecy Blade or Dominion Slash. I use Prophecy Blade just as an extra SA, I don't care too much about the actual ability. These one you can choose Mirage Assault, Owl's Mirage. Mirage Assault is basically a block jump. You get another one. Owl's Mirage is a counter attack block jump. So if they hit your forward guard with anything, You can press left click and it'll teleport to them. It's got a long range. I can't show you because the dummies don't actually hit me back, even the ones on the side. However, if a ranger or an archer is shooting you from quite a distance and you Q block it, then you left click onto them, it'll teleport to them and stun them. The third one's preference, Sand Tornado, Shadow Slicer. Shadow Slicer is just extra unprotected movement. SA on the first hit, but the second slice is unprotected, so if you're going to initiate with it, you're probably going to get CC'd. Sand Tornado, this one is SA into iframe, I'll show you that one at least. I wouldn't use it to initiate, it does stun on hit, but the end of it's again unprotected. Generally what I'll end up doing is my movement combos, and then say I want to go into the fight, attack, do whatever I want to do. If I need a quick escape, I'll do that to get out with the iframe. That would be something for small scale, node walls, getting out of the fort, things like that. Alright, so let's go quick small scale node wall sort of thing. If we're looking at multiple targets, say these two over here, you're going to use your movement to get around, so you're just going to be using your standard movement. You might want to go in with the spacebar, try and get a knockdown over here. If you can't, you can always go into this. Gives you a massive slow to everybody. Basically that's it. As far as the small scale or node war, you're only going to be using those protected moves. You can use things like Sin Splitter to move around the fight. Obviously you've got your shifts and your spacebars to go around the fight as well. Your actual attacks though, if you take Dune slash core, you can weave this in. Only press the shift F once though, because if you do it and hold F, it will pull out the second unprotected attack. So the second attack would look like this. That second spin there. So you just want to go shift F. I'll put these on screen. You've got shift F, you've got shift R and B. You can hold shift R and B for the helicopter. And you got shift L and B. And if you hold L and B after the snakes come out, it'll be a jump. Shift L and B already has a massive slow on it in Snaring Sands. 30% attack and cast speed. And move speed. Again, we'll go over add-ons in a second, but I use that with an extra 10% cast speed. With the cancel you can do off shift R and B, you can cancel it early into shift L and B's jump. Another thing you can do is cancel your helicopter into the L and B. So I can go like that and then just hold L and B at the end, it'll do the jump at the end. You can also move from your helicopter, you don't have to be stuck in it. So as long as it's being held down, if you're holding shift and you press a direction, it will cancel it early and dash you that direction. That's pretty much it for protected moves as far as what you're going to use in a ball. You're not really meant to play in a ball, you're kind of meant to be a flex team kind of character or a rat. If you're in the ball though, that's what you got to play with. Your biggest damage is actually going to be cancelling a helicopter into LMB. That's why we do that in the combo. So if you do happen to catch somebody and you don't get to do a full combo on them, you can't get your buffs out, you can't get your second CC, at least focus on that, it's fully protected. You can get this out every time. You've also got your range grab, just to show you the range on it. It's pretty much, it's about there. It's pretty much everywhere that your reticle is red. It's got a little kind of circle or cone, if you want to call it, around it. You can watch Goldstein's video, he explains it better. But it's quite a large radius. People dashing around get desynced back into it and rubber banded back into it a lot. One of the better grabs in the game, definitely. This class as a whole for 1v1s is probably one of the best ones in the game. It's got good protected movement, quick movement. Stamina issues are not the biggest problem as long as you're attacking between movement. If you're just constantly moving, you will run out of stamina. It's got a range grab, it's got high damage, it's got good accuracy. It can be an evasion class if you want, you've got the evasion buff. Let's do accuracy and evasion. Your accuracy buff is your back LB. So in the combo, instead of going back R&B into spacebar, you will just go back LB into spacebar. That gives you your accuracy buff. Your evasion buff, however, is naturally just on your shift. So your shift movement automatically gives you your evasion buff. If you're running evasion, you never have to worry about it being down because you're always going to be moving anyway. Alright, that's it for the guide. That's everything you need to know on Awakening Hash. You've got your single target combo for 1v1s. You know what your buffs are, you know how to do your block jump. You got some tricks in there to pop your AP buff and things like that. Tornadoes and what they're used for, which is essentially just a scare tactic and to clutter the screen. If you're in Node Wars, you can kind of cast them and just let it steal some kills for you. There is one more thing I did forget to show you actually. So if you press F, it'll spawn a single tornado. So then you can mix that in with all your other tornadoes. If you press F again, it'll teleport you back to the one you casted the first time. That's only to the F tornado. That one doesn't move, that one sits in one spot. You can tell it's there because of the gold on top. All the rest of them will join onto the closest opponent when you use Owl's Breath, Descent. They all kind of join together on the opponent. You can cancel out of these, so always hold your shift while it's casting in a direction, just to make sure it cancels out as soon as possible. That way you don't get grabbed. These are my PvP add-ons. This is preferably for the 1v1 situation, open world, things like that. For Node Wars, you basically just want to add in some bleeds. That's about it.